Now I'm looking at the December 1st edition of ECW. Kalen Croft and Trent Beretta make their debut in a 10-minute match going over Tyler Rex and Goldust. Tommy Dreamer's backstage with Tiffany and Hurricane and talks about how happy he is to be back on ECW. He asks that he be allowed to face someone tonight, namely either Vladimir Kozlov or Ezekiel Jackson. Tiffany says that she already has plans for Tommy, but it'll have to wait until next week. He'll be teaming up with the Hurricane to take on the men that attacked him last week, Kozlov and Jackson. And Tommy is pleased with this. Zack Ryder is in the ring demanding a match against someone so he can prove he's not a loser. Christian abides him and they go for a good 10-minute match. Just as Christian looks to be on the winning side, someone new comes out and costs Christian the win. Afterwards, the stranger gets into the ring with a mic and introduces himself as Vance Archer and says he's going to be making a name for himself in ECW. Finally, we come to the main event, Shelton Benjamin taking on Paul Burchill in a number 1 contenders match. This is a good 20-minute match that has lots of back and forth action that really gets the crowd riled. They cheer as Shelton picks up the victory, but their cheers turn to boos when Regal comes running down and lays Shelton out with the title. Now I'm looking at the December 4th edition of SmackDown. Teddy Long is standing in the ring with Mickie James. He congratulates her on her win last week and says that they've got a great show tonight. The main event is going to be Kane finally getting his hands on Punk. But up first, Mickey's going to prove her worth against Michelle McCool one last time. And whoever wins this match will face Beth Phoenix for the women's title next week. What follows is a decent 10-minute rubber match that sees Mickie try hard to pull out a win, but ultimately McCool gets the pin and the title shot. Punk is walking backstage when Matt accosts him. He tells Punk he doesn't like the way Punk does things, to which Punk responds that he can respect that, which isn't what Matt was expecting. Punk says that he admires Matt and thinks he should have had at least one title reign by now. He then ponders why Matt hasn't had one. He says that it's not Matt's fault. He's been held back by wrestlers who want to hog the spotlight. People like Edge and Undertaker, even Matt's brother, Jeff. Matt starts to counter, but Punk says, "Come on, Matt. You've been the loyal company man. You've never turned your back on this company. And yet who do they look for when they need a champion? How do they repay your loyalty? Who do they give the title matches to? Jeff Hardy, that's who. But what about Matt? Where's his title matches? Think about that, and I'll see you in the ring." Punk leaves as we go to commercial. The next match is Eric Escobar and Drew McIntyre taking on Mike Knox and Luke Gallows. This is a 10-minute match. Knox pins Escobar, and post-match Drew is upset with Eric. Eric tries to be buddy-buddy, but Drew attacks him. Vicky comes running down and goes to Eric, getting in front of him so Drew will stop. She helps Eric up, asking if he's okay, and then clocks him, sending him back down. She backs off, allowing Drew to continue his beating. She grabs a mic and yells at the top of her lungs that it's over! And she's more disappointed in herself for staying with a loser like him than she is for his pathetic constant losses. She says she's siding with a winner and someone who has a better chance of making it to the big time, Drew. Drew smiles, but when she goes to kiss him, he backs away. He says that for now, he just wants to keep things strictly business, and that's why Eric failed in the first place. He then says that he's going to win his first Intercontinental title at TLC. She smiles, nodding, and holds up his arm. John Morrison is backstage talking to Josh Matthews about his win last week, being a participant in the TLC match in 2 weeks, and Dolph's conflict with Mickey last week. John says that only cowards threaten women, and that he'll be happy to dethrone Ziggler at TLC. The promo is interrupted by Chris Jericho as he says that John's not winning the Intercontinental title because he's letting his feelings for some trollop cloud his desire to regain it. John says the only thing cloudy is Jericho's elderly mind. He says that Jericho doesn't stand a chance against 3 younger men. Jericho offers John a match tonight to prove this old man can still kick ass. Up next, R-Truth takes on Dolph Ziggler in a non-title match. This lasts for about 15 minutes. Both men fight back and forth with a few close pins, but R-Truth manages to catch the win from the IC champion. Matt finds Kane backstage getting ready for his match tonight and yells at him for his actions last week. Kane stands and says that Matt better get out of his face. Matt says Kane thinks he's some indestructible monster, but he's not. And he doesn't appreciate being used just to gain some stupid form of revenge. He expects more from Undertaker's brother. Kane brings up the fact that Matt's brother is no bed of roses either, and that Matt's one to talk about revenge when he returned to the WWE based solely on it. Now get out of my way, or you won't have a match tonight because you'll be on your way to the hospital. The next match is Finlay taking on Batista. This is a 10-minute power-based match. It's back and forth for a good portion of the time, but Batista gets distracted when Undertaker's music plays, causing Finlay to get the pin over Dave. Batista gets on the mic post-match and challenges Undertaker to come down and face him right now. Taker's image comes up on the screen and says that he'd rather face Batista on a bigger stage and that they'll meet at TLC, and he's willing to put the title on the line to prove he's better than Dave. Dave agrees, nodding, and says he's taking that title away once and for all. Eric Escobar is stalking backstage, upset not only over his loss, but that Vicky's left him for Drew. He attacks the first person he comes across, which unfortunately is Slim Master J. He makes short work of him due to his rage, and when Jimmy Wang Yang gets involved, Eric turns his attention to Yang. Officials get between both men before anything else can get escalated as we go to commercial. The next match is John Morrison taking on Chris Jericho. This is a fast-paced 15-minute match full of back-and-forth action that really wows the crowd. There's lots of near falls that really gets the crowd riled. The end sees Jericho pull out the victory after cheating to win, to which the crowd boo heavily. Vicky and Drew are celebrating backstage when Teddy Long finds them. He congratulates Drew on making it to the TLC match, but criticizes Vicky for causing Escobar to go nuts and attack his SmackDown wrestlers. Vicky tries to say it's not her fault, but Teddy says that he doesn't care whose fault it is. Next week, he's booking Drew in a match against someone who he'll be facing again at TLC, John Morrison. Vicky tries to argue against it, but Teddy says it's too late. Finally, we come to the main event, CM Punk taking on Kane. Punk is out in the ring waiting for Kane, but his music doesn't play. The camera goes backstage to find a bloodied Kane being looked at by medics. Teddy Long is standing in the background with Matt, yelling at all of his wrestlers are getting attacked. Matt offers to go in Kane's absence, which Teddy accepts. Get out there, player! Matt's music plays as the crowd cheers. Punk spends the beginning of the match with the upper hand, but Hardy eventually turns the tide. This is a solid 15-minute back-and-forth match. The crowd explode when Kane comes running down, a bloodied bandage around his head. He gets into the ring and immediately attacks Punk, causing the ref to call a no contest. Matt starts to pull Kane off Punk, but Kane turns around and attacks Matt as well. Teddy comes out to the stage with a mic and gets the attention of Kane. Listen, boys, it's obvious you all can't play nice. Therefore, at TLC, you're all facing each other in a triple threat number one contenders match, and it's going to be no disqualification. The crowd cheers. In addition, next week, you'll all be facing someone in that ring, but you won't know who it is until you're in it. But I can tell you one thing, it won't be each other. The show ends with the camera panning on all three men.